Has any contestant come in since we started the event? All right, we move on. The next contestant up is Obinna Melody. Your time starts now.
For the records, no one dies from a photo shoot. This attempt to freeze frame the moment is a testament to how we live life golden. We say today and not tomorrow, because we are the life of this party, not the search party that left the party in search of the after party. The DJ mix the things that our hearts beat for. Do not attempt to choke your child who just turned 4 with questions like, hey yo, what do you want to be when you turn 24? As though the prime time you call tomorrow is something you invented and you're super sure of. No one is sure of tomorrow, not even the next 5 seconds. So shout out to my real G game plan. He got this Formula 1 to zoom with the sound of his beating heart, because last we only get to live once. So live like every moment is your last, because it's one breath at a time. Woo!
Obinna Melody. Ja 3.1 6 5.1 6.1. Whether you use your best piece first. You use your best piece, you make it to the final, and then you do your worst piece and you lose. Okay, so you use your worst piece first, and then you don't make it to the finals, and then you lose. It's head breaking, man. It's not easy. It's not easy at all. We call our next contestant Uche Michael. Your time starts now.
If love has a face, then I have seen it. But it needed concealers to make up for scars. To do a makeover and lip sync to the tunes of our mind. To trick us with quick fingers and leave us in wonder how so soon it became the king of hearts. It bruised from the fall, then plaster of Paris, the city of love, and drank from the rivers Niger, Zambezi, hot like the sun, Sahara, and leave you thirsty for more. Love wore a hijab and had tribal marks. No hourglass figure, no British accent. Love was Kanuri and I Aguleri and could not even cook a simple egusi. Love was not white, neither was she black. She spoke of the gunners and shooters and wooders, sacked the pant, drew a tattoo, and cuss words became the new I love you. Love had a piercing like most men do, and spit words that sting like arrows and darts and this and that. Love was not blind. In fact, she had the most beautiful smile. Love was a shapeshifter. Love had 2 faces, but leaves you with a black face when it hits you, and then takes you to another phase and then leaves you to fall breathlessly in love again. Thank you.
Uche Michael, his love is a shapeshifter, his love is Kanuri, Manuri. The guy needs deliverance, guys. Judges. 9.8. And 8.8. Your time starts now.
Can you hear that voice? That voiceless voice still sonorously sounding like a bell from the nearby building called school he cannot attend. That girl shouting, buy pure water. Someone's daughter giving away to servitude. Hey, Ayiba. This is where the vice is devised. A blind eye given to a child is the bleakness of a nation, an entire generation. That at 17, a child begets a child, a prospective illiterate, born by an illiterate, to await the arrival of more illiterates. Just look at them. Those people we gave no pen, 12 in a room that spells their doom, mutual intelligibility with communicable diseases, eating with relish close to a dung of physics. The boys we gave no aid now throw grenades. The girls we gave no aid now happily give us AIDS, all because of their HID, human intellectual deficiency. This is an atrocity of preposterous capacity eating deep into the edifice of our society.
Is his performance an atrocity that will eat deep into his cause? Or 4.3, 5.5. I kid you not. 5.5. Judges, think about it. All right. And yours, I'm going to yours. Oh, 5.5. Okay. So are we all good? Do we have all the judges now?
No, just 3.
I know I'm missing someone. 4.3. All right. Love at Liberty, you're up next.
The Egyptians you see today, you shall see them no more. I'm asking, does that include the Egyptians standing between this country and the land of milk and honey we've been promised for 6 decades? And since my country needs a new name, how about we bear Egypt? Because like the Egyptians, we have witnessed the plagues. We have watched our waters turned into blood streaming from our own veins as daughters and sons bled out at Lekki Tollgate. Now they plant and sow hate. See the sons of the east falling. Like our economy, there is anger here. Sapa Jackma for trouser here. Me I want Jackma here. Spare me the Hakuna Matata here. Let's face the truth of the matter here. Insecurity has reached the peak, but it left us in the valley of the shadow of death. These are dark days. And NEPA they hardly bring light here. So like our low batteries, we die here.
Judges. 10! 7! 8.9! All right. Envoy Beatties, you're up next. Your time starts now.
I am here now. Not in the past or future, but now. Forensics won't find my fingerprints tap dancing on these rewind and forward keys. No, instead, I'll be here in the moment. Because I've come to find that the word sands of time can make me see how life is half Sahara Desert, half beach of La Concha, sandstorms and sandcastles. And I'm a beautiful gemstone sitting barefoot at the crossroad. If this life we know is a tightrope, then I'm an artwork standing between artifacts and artificial intelligence, between high hopes and sweet reminiscence. It's okay to try to make sense of your existence, just don't get caught swinging on pendulums, darling. Time waits for no one, so quit your stalling. And be here now, because nothing we know will last forever. Not my cooking, not the cologne I'm wearing. Nothing is forever, not even diamonds. I mean, check it, diamonds. Even the first syllable of the word is a confession of its own mortality.
Judges are confessing. 6.5. Your time starts now.
I am beautiful, the subject of every man's desire, and every woman desires me. In this womb I carry life. 9.9 million children are birthed from my womb. On this hips, mountains, rock, and coastlines, the curve of streams and the contour of coastlines. When I speak, the heavens respond. By this tongue, no creature dares defy me. Yet you have no respect for me, yet you claim to love me. Look at my body. I am neither selfish nor shy. I give pleasure to anyone who acts and leave everyone satisfied. I demand nothing for a night in my bed, so you treat me as a prostitute without pay. 1, 2, 3, my children are dying. They are aborted from me. The air conditioning is faulty, and the room is too hot. despite what you might feel. Scientists speak of an Earth that will be uninhabitable. Famine, poverty, and a sun that is far worse than Abuja's sun. The climate is changing, yet we refuse to change. I am Earth, and I am a slave to mankind. Thank you.
Is she a slave to your scores? 1.1. 4.
That's just sad.
5.5. 3.8. All right. Next. Sadiq, you're up next. Your time starts now.
The wolf. I do not wear sheepskin for my own selfish desires. Neither do I bleat in unison with the herd in satisfaction of some mischief. For you see, I am a prisoner just like the shepherd. What calm and fluffy innocence you have been deceived to see is but a well-orchestrated facade. Centuries of calculated evolution. A lifetime of propaganda. Fate is weighed against a mountain of wool. Who has the courage to burn the sequence, to stray from the flock? I am a wolf in sheepskin, a pretender merely trying to survive.
He survived. 4. 6. 7.1. Okay. Has any contestant come in while we were performing and you haven't picked a number? Last chance. Phone a friend. All right. So, I think we're about the last person for this evening, the last contestant for this evening. I believe I'm right. Ladies and gentlemen, word up. Your time starts now.
This is a book with bad punctuation, a tale of greedy men, men who became semicolon, making a point on our daughters' curves, ignoring their full stop, breaking their cycle, burying their joy in parentheses. Hashtag justice for these injustices. This must be a period. Mother Earth is too young for monopause. Bodies too battered to form names. We've buried pictures in caskets. They've picked us out of our homes, turned us to naked peacocks, too ashamed to spell out our names. Our voice is now the space between two suns. And yet, when the sun runs east, they ask us how we found oxygen for our lungs. We smile, say hallelujah, and tell them we draw our breath, we draw our strength from where the sun draws its light.
Judges. Will he still have breath left when you're done scoring him? Or will he be scorched by the sun of the light, the sun of the light, the light of the sun? 6. 5.1. 5.8. 3.7. 7.3. No, I was just pulling the strings. 7.3. All right. So, judges have given us their scores. I'm going to be waiting for the computation so we know who comes up next. All right, that's good. So we're waiting for the judges to get the timekeeper and the you know, that was the name for you guys. The group of people decide the fate of humanity. They As a slam master, I'm going to, in collaboration, in agreement with the judge, should be done. So, I'm going to do a very short one, and within the you can do better, they want to see you do better. So, as I walk across the street and throw my arms about a beat, I see lovers hand in hand as they try to understand, is it love or is it lust? Infatuation, not a crush. But in my heart, I know this much. She's so lovely, she's so special, something heavenly, sent to rescue me. When I'm feeling sad and lonely and I feel depression hold me, nothing makes me feel at ease, not the coolest evening breeze. But when I feel a fingers touch me and a whisper also sweet me, then my mind has realized that my dreams can actualize. And so I choose to memorize. She's so lovely, she's so special, something heavenly sent to rescue me. Girl, I wonder what I'll do if I never had you. I guess my days will be so sad, I guess my nights will be so bad. You're a blessing from above, you're an angel, you're a dove, you're the one that I adore. Because you're so lovely, you're so special, something heavenly sent to rescue me. Your time starts now.
It all started with one statement. I will never be with you, not if death whispered my name. You laughed, ha ha ha, laugh of the ages, a smirk ripe enough for harvest. And I laughed, but the motivation was different. But that was not the last time we laughed together. My second time was the day I was reading a book. You tossed it aside, not violently, but with caution and care. But I should have taken caution of the care you placed in disregarding and discarding the pages of my belief, the spine that held the skeleton of my identity. We watched The Queen of Hearts for the third time, I because of the beauty of drama and you because of the very essence of it. Woman loves her child, woman cares for her child, woman feeds her child, and her food tastes great. Woman bathes her child as dress, attempts to dress child, zipper open, not quite closing, teeth stuck, her teeth underneath what zipper should conceal, zipper open, and her food is abominable. This was not my sin, but it had the same name. The world is full of sin that is birthed from a single story, a book of many editions, all but with one trajectory. The innocent intention, like when Hitler tried to save the motherland, that went great. The harmless gaze, like David casually admiring Bathsheba while having her bath. The prideful validation, like the serpent in the garden, the voice of calamity whispering whispers that become music to your ears and queen over your heart. Sin isn't double-horned, it isn't fiery, it isn't ugly, no. Sin is the wake of dawn. By the softness of a kiss, it is the desperation of a father's eyes trying to save his child. It is the fear of judgment and the misplaced desire to fit in. Sin has a name and a story. Each book has different names, all but with different pen names. And you know what? Beauty is power. A smile is its sword. I smile knowing that sin can be overcome. I used to never get sick. Mother said it's because I had a pure heart, blameless maybe. Sin makes you feel all sorts of terrible, terrible things. I get sick all the time these days.
$7.5. $8.5. $6.8. Scorekeeper. 10 people are going to make it to the next round. So how do we do this? I'm just gonna call the name, so if you hear your name, you've made it through. If you don't hear your name, adieu, adieu. With a total score point of 28.8, dear society, you overshot your time and you had 7.1 points deducted, so you ended up with 21.7, but you still made it to the next round. Sadiq with a total score point of 3.1, Sadiq, congratulations, you make it to the next round. Word Abba, 24.2 points. Get ready for the next round, it's 2 minutes. 24.41. Ugo, you made it to the next round. Javi, with a total score points of 28.2 points. Your initial score was 29.2 points, but you had some deductions, Debbie. I'm afraid you also made it to the next round with 29.1 points. Have you called you, right? All right. Debbie, with a total points of, you had 31.6 points, you overshot your time and you lost 1.8 points. So your present total score is 29.8 points. Oludasa. Congratulations, you move on to the next round. You have 32.7 points. No deductions. Uche Michael. And Envoy Beatties, 34.9 points. You scored second this round. And 35.7 points. Love it, Liberty. All right, get ready now. This is the round 2. You have 2 points. The judges will score you the same. If you exceed your times, you will have deductions, and we get started. Those who came first and second and third and all that have the privilege to relax and chill and watch others sweat it out before it gets to your turn. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back on stage, Dear Society. 2 minutes, your time starts now.
Our conversations were like orgasms. Tenderly and aggressively, simultaneously wrecking our bodies, minds, and emotions, but with words alone. Conversations stretching late into the night, past the mid-hour, until the early hours of dawn. Our laughter were like echoes, permeating space and time, a universe where our love was in high demand. You were perfection personified. Eyes that carried the wisdom of 1,000 worlds, hair white as bleached wool, your voice the coolness of a weary evening, your kiss the colors of the northern lights. Perfection is preferable in paradise, but you wanted perfection from an imperfect being, and that was way too much to ask. Our love became stunted, with you running after me, even though you had 99 beautiful women running after you. I should have felt flattered. I am the one you chose. But no matter how much I tried to love you, no matter how ambitious my love was, my love would never amount to yours. Thank you.
Judges, will our love for words amount to nice calls from you? 4 points. .1, 8.1, 7.3. Thank you. Up next, Sadiq. Your time starts now.
Numbers. The names are erased as swiftly as the lives that bore them fade. Numbers are left behind. An identity and existence constructed over years, reduced to but a figure that amounts to 1, so as to translate as less. The soul escapes with all relevance. The body, held there by those who have witnessed its warmth, is discarded like old cloth Our protectors slumber soundly, deaf to the screams, drifting to a lullaby of false cheer, a story of puppets strangled by strings, abandoned by their puppeteer, a story of numbers without names. For if we knew their names, we'd be forced to feel. So we await our turn, when we shall give our names with our lives and be assigned our numbers.
Judges. That was 10, right? Yeah. The judge will protest if it wasn't a 10. Are you impeding my integrity? 96.99.6 or 96 for 6.8 for 6.8 and 7.1. Next up, word ABBA. Your time starts now.
My mom fell in love with an artist. He daily looks at her like plain canvas. They were both young. Mom was a queen, only old pictures could tell us of her reign. We were reindeer when our skies were blue, before dark clouds and rain. Dad said his love language was physical touch. And so she thought only the ends of his soft brush would paint beauty on this canvas, but no. Dad only paints palms on this canvas. Some days he paints fists and feet on this canvas. Dad is a shy artist. I have never seen Dad paint before, but his art process is loud. The violent screams of stupid, foolish, idiot, pause against, please. I'm sorry, I don't want to lose another baby. You see, Dad paints like a drummer. He loves his kicks and hi-hats. I was 13 when I asked Mom to auction his painting for the world to see. She said, your dad wouldn't like that. In this studio, he has one canvas and cameras aren't allowed. You see, I fell in love with geography thinking I could find a way out. But Mom stayed. She primed herself every morning before leaving, so when Dad returns, he can paint again. And yes, Dad has turned this home to the Wild West. My dad has gone south, ignoring if his son east or north. And yes, in the north, it's easier for Mama to become an art piece because they are framed by how many children they have, so they stay because of the sons they have. So this poem is actually an apology. Sorry.
So we can get you. Your time starts now.
From the money to the Niger Company, to the country formed from each protectorate, to those who lost faith in the inequity of the polity and chose the use of force to steer her down the course of chaos, to the dirge that never was for the fallen heroes and those who lost their lives to the cause, because our journey from the First through to the Fourth Republic may be bleak in public history still. We stare death in the face and snare. We bear our bodies to brutality, buttresses against the breach of our free speech, branded treason, and still we find a reason to do battle with cattle while we drive on roads that have become traps and kidnaps and unsafe for travel. And it is a marvel just to imagine the number of bereaved and displaced and raped and razed down homes in several communities committed with impunity to law and order, and how our borders have become so porous to insurgency and the urgency of insecurity that tempts us to pick up arms to defend ourselves. and how we ourselves know that politics is simply a game played for gain by those folks who trick us every time it's time to vote again with a host of promises they will never fulfill, and how hurt we feel when they abuse this power they possess and the mess that is our power industry. We in this country are simply the casualty of a dysfunctional polity, buried in the depth of duplicity that continues to breed disunity among each ethnicity. And so we will continue to stumble within the limits our history circumscribes for us, unless we become scribes of a better chapter with the kind of character that will build a legacy for unborn generations. And there is no exception for leader or laity. So this is to the country formed from each protectorate, to those who have lost faith in the inequity of the polity, to those who continue to stare us down the course of chaos, because every choice has a voice that echoes consequence. And no matter how intense moments get, never forget that the resilience of these people will be their defense.
One.
What's the top score?
Huh?
Was that 2?
2, yes, it was. It's true. Habib, you're up next. Your time starts now.
I know the devil. He lives in my house. The devil has the most angelic smile. I noticed from the day he walked further down the aisle, came into our lives and offered happiness on a platter, promised to make our lives better, planted seeds of evil that sprouted home into a forest, home down the Sambisa of silent shame, waiting weeds and thorn. And our lives, these growing thorns have torn. I know the devil like I know the taste of my own tears and the contouring of mother's fears. The devil likes to drink, he likes to talk. The devil is charming, evident from the manner of his walk. He likes to see mother sulk and he hates it when she talks. The devil spends most of his night out. And when the night is not out, he spends sipping coffee and staring at the TV screen. He likes the house clean and he likes the sound of mother's screams. And his favorite color is green, but he likes his tooth black. And he likes his coffee black, and he likes the sound of his belt on mother's back. He said he loves mother, and she says it back, but he takes it back when he smacks and hits the mistress from the back. I'm the devil's mistress. He calls me his little princess. He likes the sound of his knuckle dip into mother's flesh. He likes the tangle of his flesh on my flesh. The devil wears a bowler hat. A man of class, the devil is the working class. He provides. When I hit his whip, he uses his fist, he improvises. The devil is a man of principle. He never spares the rod, a man of his word. The devil is a Christian. He goes to church, and under his right arm, he carries his Bible tight, and he always pays his tithe. The devil is respected. The devil wears the marks of my hero. The devil was my hero. The devil is my stepfather. Which is why I've come to tell on the devil today that the devil is the biggest coward I know, that hides his wedding ring, still lies and hides to defy me. And when I threaten to tell, he threatens to kill me. See, the devil eats my mother's flesh for dinner, drinks her blood after dinner. I watch her fade away, by the day she grows thin and thinner. So I told on the devil. The devil is mad. The devil is furious. The devil is in jail. Do you have the devil in your house? Tell.
9.9, 10, 7, and emphatically the devil is in jail. You'll tell, right?
Yes.
Up next, Debbie. Alright, your time starts now.
Dear stranger across the street, there really are better nouns than fine girl. It is insulting to describe me and 50 other girls that way. Where is your sense of diversity? No, I would not like to give you my number. Stop touching me. No, I would not like to show you where I live. Leave. No, I would not like to hang out with you sometime. No, please don't hurt me. Don't rape me. Don't cut me up and dump me in the gutter. I really don't want to be the next missing girl. I just really don't want to give you my number. Dear uncle I've known all my life. Hey, my face is up here. I know I'm growing into my thick thighs and I'm becoming a big girl, but it's creepy when you mention it. Stop. Don't remove my clothes with your eyes. Don't rip my innocence away with every dry heave you have when you look at me. Leave me alone. Dear math teacher, this is not biology class. You're not supposed to be noticing how tight my shirt is getting. The growth of my mammary glands have nothing to do with 2 + 2. Me plus you can never be equal to anything. Leave me alone. Dear men, stop sexualizing me. My body is a temple and you are not the resident priest. My body is a temple and you are not the resident priest. I am not a satisfier of needs. Go on your knees and pray. He'll answer you. See, Prince Charmings no longer come to you in their shining armor, slaying dragons for your head. They are the dragons and they are anything but charming. They are the government and their punishment for a no is to take your dignity, your self-respect, your will to live, your body, even if you're 2 years old, even if you're just 15, even if you're 25, the law is the law and boys will be boys. Nah, it's the audacity for me to proclaim an entire gender this as if people aren't diverse. As if children cannot be taught any different and toxic mentalities cannot be changed before they are even imputed. As if we pre-plan to let boys get away with everything because their gender is the color of royalty, blue. And before you come at me with women rape boys too, the age-old argument longer than the art of Kung Fu Panda, this is not a war. I'm simply saying, look at this a bit. Look at the price women have to pay for saying no. Their lives, their bodies, their consent. Uwa, Tina, Barakat. These are names you may not have heard of in your life. These are bodies that were found in a gutter. These are women that dared to say no. Society tells us that we must pay for being women. The price is our body. And the price is our lives.
Your time starts now.
They say a man's gift would bring him before kings. And when I look back, I realized poetry saved me from the streets. Who am I? I am a Ludasa, born and raised in the moon, but my heritage from the sun. The photosynthesis to my growth were not from the clouds, but in the roots of where I'm from. I bloomed in darkness, a product of a broken home, nuclear wars in polygamous families, where all efforts of relationship remain in vain because all we have are deoxygenated memories, missing father figures, mother's finding spirituality, mysterious practices at the far ends of society. Poetry saved me from the streets, from a place where many don't make it out, and those who made it out stay out. There's no bridge, it's an island of ignorance. Some say higher education is the ship that can take you away from this island, but how many can afford it? The primary goal is to give you secondary school education, and after that you're on your own. The inequality shows we are low lives. Your child, you're not a dog, go find your bone. Poetry saved me from the streets, from a place where being a political talk is the retirement plan of today's cultists. And you all know this, that somehow, some way, you'll get paid by the politicians in control of your taxes. And what are you going to do about it? Because we all are hypocrites. So it's better you just pray to God like a Jehovah's Witness and stay away from the politics and wait to God for your daily bread. And when the manna finally falls from heaven, it is mandatory to give the system a share so you can still have the roof over your daily head. Poetry saved me from the streets. From a place where the friends you grew up with are now internet fraudsters in search of a capital like Mogadishu because their motives are so Malian. And yes, I'm a Malian, we're poetic Malian. And that's why I've been through the good, the bad, and the ugly part of the society. My truth can never be washed, no matter how soapy it lies in the hands of a laundromat. Poetry saved me from the streets. From a place called the deep depths of my heart, where I knew I was doomed the day I realized I was a writer. Because I'm being haunted by the stories never been heard, truths never been said, issues never been read, bells never been fed, cries from innocent souls that drowned in their bloodshed. I'm looking around for the avatar, but the arrow lies in my head. Poetry saved me from the streets. And that's why every time I put pen to paper, I thank the Creator for giving me the gift to present myself before kings.
Tonight, judges. 9, 8.5, 7, 9.3, 7.7, 6.5. No, 9.3. 9.3 instead of 9. Sorry about that. Are we good? All right, you see? Okay, let's see the scores again. 9.3, 7.7. Yeah, 9.3, 7.7, 8.5, 6.5. Your time starts now.
I sang to a wall, and echoes fell off like scrapings of dried paint, masking chunks of broken spirit. I tell of my tales, with words too grave, too silent, so I wear my scar like a necklace. Can't you see my bloodshot eyes, as that man tries to snatch me of my innocence? But I was innocent in a guilty world, where I have learnt to converse with the dark and find rhythm in silence. For each persistence has formed beats to the lyrics of the whips on my back, forcing my body to dance to strange tunes, but I will stay strong. For you will bear my cross like Simon. And this poem is the way you let them know that I had walked this path when you blow my siren in your convoy. Tell them, we are not so different after all. Tell them, the territories we had hoped to conquer are just mere markings on the ground. Tell them, for a minute they can forget where they are from, their tribe, and chart the course where they are going, their pride. Tell them, the core in every one of us can be let loose. And in the future, our children will learn what we did, will be heroes in their books. Tell them, we don't have to be refugees, homeless, displaced, hopeless, misplaced priorities will take us there. Where it wouldn't matter who was right or who was wrong. In that day, there'll neither be king nor kong. How much can I beat this gong? We can't run from it anymore, we can't beat it. Because if we had gone the right ways initially, then there'll be no need for IDPs. So get up and stop being the hero, but only in your DP. Social media activists, but still our greatest bane is inactivity. You tweet how much you can save the world, but in your browser, in another tab, you're booking a flight just in case there is a fight. Where are the heroes? Can I see the knights? And their shining body armor. See, war does not determine who's right or who's left. It's not a fairy tale we see in the movies. There will be no last chance to call your wife and pour your feelings. Plus, there will be no reception. Only the screams of another dead body like me that just hits the ground. Because for the last 2 minutes, you've been listening to a ghost. Thank you.
Will we get to the next? Your time starts now.
I cannot speak my native tongue. For so long I've been afraid of sounding like a cello that's poorly strung. As if being African was a game where if I speak my language, then I lose points. Like if speaking it doesn't add to my bank account, then what's the point? I want to speak sophisticated words, you know, the kind that makes the ladies melt. Not to be heard in public speaking some jargon from the middle belt. I spend days mastering the English lexicon and its pronunciation, but to speak my language? Yeah. I do not want to sound like a witch doctor spitting some incantation. Look around and you'll find how many people have noticed that colonialism to some extent was a kind of hypnosis. Because I know of parents who pay a huge amount of dough to have their kids face a blackboard and sit in columns and rows. But what if we didn't treat our schools like they were some kind of baptism river, where our children take a dip and drop their heritage and resurface holding on to some foreign vernacular? What if I did not treat the phrase in my native tongue like it was some kind of gibberish? What if I thought of it to be as fascinating as me saying, "Te ve hermosa esta mañana" in Spanish? I'm learning new languages like French, Mandarin, and even Dutch. But what if my enthusiasm to learn my local language was twice as much? What if I chose to unlearn the lie that mediocre was synonymous with local? What if I did not back away from the beauty of my dialect? What if I started to go vocal? Like, how did we lose touch with our Africanism, where our languages sound ludicrous or even offensive, and so English gets to be a kind of euphemism? I cannot speak my native tongue, but now I know better than to think that this language was crafted only for the rural settler. I cannot speak my native tongue, and I'm not proud of it. Because every language, including mine, is a charging current of change, and I am a privileged conduit.
Nine 9.8, 7.9, and 8.2. Wow, wow, wow. Finally, the last performer for this round, Love It, Liberty. Your time starts now.
Local girl, now the first wife of Africa. She is a gorgeous goddess that glows wherever she goes. A proud and pretty petal. A black rose that rolls from the dark holes of underrated Africanness. Behold her blossoming like a well-groomed garden. Local girl never went under the knife, yet she possessed the best behind you can ever imagine. Local girl now Mercy Johnson. With that Coca-Cola bottle kind of curvy, our plump body is proof that we are fed full, not poorly. Because local girl knows what to do with good food. She know they waste her time with fork and knife when faced with a plate of pounded yam. She know they do nyanga, she chop banga, fufu, open salad. And my local girl is home-baked. She is well-bred. Quite educated, local girl is well read, yet she never said farewell to the ways of her brethren. She know the panel beat her tongue to sound posh. She know the Jack foreign accent on her head like souvenirs from diaspora. Local girl is her mother's daughter. She spreads her legs to tie her lapa, just the way her mother taught her. She slays on lace and ankara, looking spectacular in localized attires and outfits. Her gele, a colorful crown, the crest her head held high, and hallowed can make the crown of Pharaoh look so low. But wait, have you seen local girl wind her waist as she rigorously wiggles her hips to the thundering rhythm of Afrobeat, Fuji, and high life? Wallah, it's often fun to see her twist and turn her hips and bumps as she responds to the rushing tongue of a talking drum, reminding her where she's coming from. But local girl ain't cheerfuler. She never forgets where she's coming from. Look again at Iyabo, Enobong, Ineka, Halima. Local girl is made in Nigeria.
7.9. This is one of the toughest, most competitive slams that I have ever experienced. Please, let's give a resounding round of applause. Well done. So, while the scores are being collated, does anybody have a piece they would like to do? So we can give you the opportunity. Who does? Who that? Who that?
All week. It's a tale of how I grew up in Abuja. I spend so much time typing these days, hence I can't flap for like to give me white finger. So I'm pulling an eyelash strand and placing it on my head, hoping you forget this piece before it even begins, because I feel old already. Tell me you see this feeling clearly when 80s kids reminisce and you have an inkling that you peeped into the concluding part of this nostalgic thing. I'm not sure I saw my Walkman rewinds her nest, but it was fun to watch my uncle nurture the relationship between vinyl and cassette. TV had its compartments where the controls were, and the schedule for programming was usually 4 p.m. Those colored lines that preceded Nigeria's anthem were like wristwatches because they told time. This is a tribute to old times when the rich also cry. Oh, hi. Telemundo freaks. Back then, there was no one but you. No phones, no internet, so we found value in people and nurtured connect. Who forget playing nail or catcher? Stoning rubber ring, throwing big balls, playing in the rain or playing canter. And we never got tired of rolling tires. Before you finish your walking biscuits, there's licky disguised as sweet. And gum that educates you while you chew it. So you save up your last ₦1 coin and use some random turn matchbox to select sides. I used to team up in sets. You see, there was mathematics to it. Cashew was archery and bullseye determined who was the man in the yard. I often failed at target practice, so I cheer on my bro as a fan. So bros, as war scatter! The stick na shotgun, but as sunburn no fit stop us from crafting kite with newspaper and unused nylon. This long vac has to be more fun. But once evening show, you know it's your mom's turn to direct the scripts of these tales by moonlight. As in a chop knife food, you ask yourself who that man is that tills the soil on Earth's satellite. Because something they tell you say, person day way must be leave for moon. Am I digressing? With matchsticks and black bands from brooms, we make banger and attach it to the wood we stole from the carpenters. So don't mind me if I make my scapula protrude as I dance backwards like fowls, scratching the earth in search of what to feed with. I'll argue that Daddy Shoki sang Fire, Fire long before the video, only that Daddy Shoki's monster hit was a socially conscious number. So kids of today, you're listening to rubbish, Abi. And in a bid to make the replica of the Holy Grail of soccer, cigar foil was the right material to ensure that this coveted prize shined. Have I been able to invite a smile down your chin as I remind you of times when wearing shorts higher than your knee was fine? For me, it was my preferred outfit to go see the damsel across the street. I would even lied to myself that she'd spend a happily married life with me. I must be silly. But time flies, really. Where's that 90s kid that didn't find time to be cast in that movie called Mama and Papa? I might be a broken record, but this is throwback to us swaying to those rectangular boxes drawn on the ground. And some piece of glass or some shattered piece of asbestos was tossed as we walk with one leg raised, hopping. We'll face backward, throw with blind aim, we hope to build houses, and girls with tap dance 10-10 and red bricks powdered and soaps resembled stew. Choreography wasn't even part of my vocabulary yet when Tinko Tinko held past. Hey kid over there, it's fine if you weren't born at that time. I could have stated more, but this much should be about pride. I know phones, the internet and technology must have made this era seem better, but millennials, you got to admit, that old school.
All right, I have the results for the next round, but what I want to do is ask the 10 people to come out so we can take a group photograph together. Then you can go back to your seats and then we will see who won. So the 10, Love at Liberty, Envoy Vane, with 32 points, the first person to qualify, Oludasa. With 34.9 points, the second person to qualify, Love at Liberty. With 35.95, Envoy Vane. With 36 points, Word Abba. And with 36.9 points, who's he gonna be? Who's he gonna be? Abby! All right, so contestants, prepare for your final piece. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. And water. Does anybody want water?
Yes.
You know, it's actually quite tense watching your favorite person perform, and you're like, are they gonna make it? Did they make a mistake? Was that good? It's tense, it's tough, and please a round of applause for our performing first for the final round, wishing you the best, Oludasa. Do remember, move around with it, you know. So, all right. This, huh?
You can point at me.
Yeah, all right. So get ready. Your time starts now.
In the year 2013, I got a call from my aunt on a Saturday evening telling me to come over to her place and she has something for me. So I went to her place. She welcomed me. I took my seat, and right there she brought out a pair of shoes. And she said, Olu, these shoes belongs to my friend's son living in Dubai. The boy no longer wants it, so he disposed it. But his mother felt, instead of disposing it, why not pack it with the item she was sending to me from Dubai? And this is how this shoe landed in Nigeria. Actually, I have given this shoe to my husband to try, but they are too small and don't fit. And this was the reason I called you to come over so you can put it on and let's say it looks like on your feet. And this was how our destinies met. So everyone, please meet my friend. Everyone say hello to my friend Judah.
Hi.
The only as I have. My day one, my ride or die. My German everywhere I go. I wear Judah to work, I wear Judah to school, I wear Judah to church, and even when I'm going for a show. Judah, your loyalty to my feet has been unquestionable. All these years together, no shoemaker, but you're still reliable. Even on days I feel defeated, you were still on my feet. Life is a game and you're my running shoes every time I come out here to compete. You are a different kind of friend and that is why I respect you. Because the strength in your strides helps me get through my daily outdoor activities, misadventures and harsh realities. But hey Judah, aren't we more like brothers now? Because your soul and my soul are now intertwined. And every time I put you on, there's this motivation that comes from within. I start to feel like an athlete chasing my dreams. But however, Judah, I do not know if we are going to win all our races in life. But I do know one thing for real. On this track called life, we'll always run together. We'll always run together. Never will I give up on you. Because you came to me at the very crucial moment when I needed a pair of shoes. But impossible is nothing if our God later win and our fortunes later change. I promise never to give you up. I may have a room filled with colorful sneakers, but never will I dispose you. Instead, I'll put you in the middle of the room so the other sneakers can bow to your durability and courage. Judah, you have given me everything possible you can offer a human being, and the least I could do to repay you for this service is to show the world that you are not a non-living thing. The least I could do to repay you for this service is to show the world that you are my friend. And I named you Judah because you are strong. And they say only the strong survive. So everyone please say hello to my friend Judah.
5. Ride or die, bro. Ride or die. 4.1. 6.6. Your time starts now.
Government of the people, for the people, by the people. Simple, right? But makes no sense in a system where the people's rights and the people's lives are unprotected, like sex without condoms. When uniformed men meant to protect us become the villains from whom we need saving, SARS be like Thanos. They snap their gauntlets and our sons meet their end games, gone without trace. Bail is free on ink, but not in real cases. Because to bribe and be bribed is like our mother tongue. We've all learned the intricacies. In these places, where our votes count in Big Brother Nigeria, but not in our political space. Because the climb to power peak is one extreme sport, done with speedy paces, performed by desperate feet and greedy faces. But I'll tell you this for free. In all of your power chasing, 48 laws of power is a joke. There's only one law of power you should know. Thou shalt have a strong godfather. Because these godfathers hold tight to power the way a relay runner holds tight to his baton. So if your connection not strong past 5G network, your political ambition is nothing but TED Talks. All is fair in love and war, but not in these elections where the rate of rigging is 5-star like Waka. If God for that thing was a football club, it sure would be Baka. With the way they make power pass us by like tiki-taka. This democracy in a soccer, and our leaders are ballers. Looking fine, looking fresh, looking fly. So fly, they are always on airplane mode when duty comes calling. What goals are they scoring? When the interest of the masses keep taking the back seat like latecomers. They make policies that push the people down till we become brand the broken. These lifestyles and the things they do for love of power, love of money. Check your calendar, winter is coming on our economy. Check the breaking news. That is recession calling. Yet we are stuck with kleptomania fingers sworn in as brothers of the ninth watch tax to guard our backs. But the moment we turn our backs, they put on their hunting vest. They're not here to secure our interests, they are securing something else. Securing the bag, nothing less. While we are left in our hungry nest, left to stomach cock and booze, stories cooked by pot-bellied politicians. Stories for the gods and not meant for the faint-hearted, but see as our leaders, they faint here. Yet, they say democracy is our best bet, but when we bet on Nigeria, our ticket keep cutting.
Or will our ticket be cutting? Judges. 5.5. 6.8. 9. 8.5. 8.5. Envoy Beatty. Your time starts now.
Some days my life feels like a terrible movie. Like I only have a 2.1 rating on IMDb. Like critics would rather make smoothies with their rotten tomatoes than waste them on me. Like I was an apple that fell out of a family tree. Like I did not make it into a basket for saint. Like I was a masterpiece left unfinished because Michelangelo ran out of motivation and paint. Some days you find me awake till 2 a.m. in a prison of my own making. I'm staring at a ceiling that gets in the way of my stargazing. You see, I'm asking myself, how does a person take 5 from breathing? How does a person keep from falling apart? Because right now my eyes are waterfalls flooding my essence. I wrestle to stay afloat in this pain I'm familiar with in ways that nobody knows, like I was both Neptune and Crusoe. Some days my train of thought choo-choos a huge chunk of days I'm yet to borrow. Are you like me? Trembling at the sound of a rumor tomorrow. I'll break my chest open, hoping I'll find whatever jukebox there is to keep me dancing, but sadly, there is more cobwebs than confetti in here. Just a pint of hope and a pound of fear. My pounding heart pushes me to the edge of a cliff and leaves me there. I tear my hands climbing up the messy side of a question mark. Every drop of sweat takes me high enough to pluck the stars and put them in my fanny pack, but some days, the rope snaps and I fall back into this. And everything you call rock bottom is just the beginner's class, and all the things that made me wish my existence didn't come to pass. Some days I feel like music played over and over again. Not because I was a hit song, but because somebody fell over and hit the repeat button. We sometimes audition for a kind of acceptance, but seldom make the cut. Instead, we have our faces cut out of photos, and we're forced to see how not feeling at home in a house of your own still equals you being a hobo. Some days I feel the shackles on my breath, and I just hate to be me. I want to break free, but I'm no Houdini. It's no wonder I carry this burden on my shoulders, and I can't wait to win the Oscar I deserve for acting like everything is fine. There's a creative out there waiting to say farewell halfway to the finish line. You're thinking that all there is for you to become is an emptied memory. And the quickest way to sympathy is to OD yourself into a eulogy, but I'm telling you, you are wrong. You are more than just a broken song. So if the world is a bowl of soup and you think yourself crooked utensil, if you think you're a tape in a cassette spinning out of orbit, let me be your pencil.
Be written in pencil, or will he be permanent in the first 3? 9.2, 7.5, 9.3. Up next, word ABBA. Your time starts now.
Young skinny boy finally made it to the papers. Front page model to a magazine that no one reads. Nature's perfect skinny boy. Did nothing to lose weight but to be born at a time. Food was a taboo to be eaten more than once a day. Dark skin with brown eyes, fully baked boy under the sun. He never learned to catwalk but knew that when the dogs came, the cats run. One foot in front of the other, in that other with speed. Never looked down, never looked back. He made it to the runway. Never looked down, never looked back. Bam! The camera clicked. He didn't get the pose he desired. Other photographers angry they didn't get the first shots. We are natural born models. No one knows when his debut would be. Someone is paying for these fashion shows and they heard that we have a lot of models. So for some, the short movies, cut, 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 the director yelled. The mother is not screaming enough. Cast the whole village for the play. Add some smoke effects. Make sure the world is watching. Because fashion shows and movies are best enjoyed in silence. You see, they said they hate our freshness. Hate that it didn't come because of Snapchat filters. They hate our hairstyles and snapbacks. Take off your P-caps, their pre-cracked necks is the clapbacks. They wear uniform blackjacks. These cards were never in our favor. You see, we were all made from dust, boys. Our skin they chose to bore holes to quench their thirst. You see, we were all made from dust, boys. Our skin they chose to bore holes to quench their thirst. They use our bodies to grow more forests. They have guns stamped with the names of our brothers and sisters, but their end will still be a nameless grave. And yes, we stand knowing that police can still be your free end. 100 politicians pissing down can never convince me it's raining. Abada has never stopped corporate crime. Reformation is a lie. Abada has never stopped corporate crime. Reformation is a lie. So the IG can give us accurate data of lost lives. We no longer get likes. They only double tap to see if we are still breathing. Our human rights will never get clearance because the best picture of a Nigerian youth can always be shot by SARS.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, what are you doing here for a boy and girl? It's time for the final performance of this evening. The final competitor is coming up, and we're going to find out very soon who's going to take the crown. They'll win the prize and I'll keep the money. Ladies and gentlemen, ready for Avi. Your time starts now.
2 weeks ago, I giggled suicide. 2 weeks ago, I had giggled again for less than 4 years to commit suicide. A week ago, I found myself loitering in my mother's kitchen. While she was cooking, I was looking, scrutinizing, peering and comparing the sharp edge, the knife that might push me or pull me off the edge. Well, there was only one way to find out. Today, you're at my funeral. Today, you sit slouched at the back with your back pressed against the cold wall, reflecting on how cold the world and your cold arms pressed to your chest in disbelief. You're jaded, cold, and your wet eyes shaded. And the only voice that struggled to escape your cracked, cold, and quivering lips is why. And I'll tell you why. Why? Because my whole life was a lie. Why? Because my mother sang me the lie, a lullaby, that it was not okay to cry, that crying was the body language of depression, spray, and sulking was cowardice on display. Why? Because at 9, I already knew how to tell the lie that I was fine. Why? Because I can't even sulk in peace, because my silence stops the peace to the room. Why? Because this whole system is a bloody lie. A subterfuge. The kind of reeks of primitivity, preaches positivity, while knee deep stand in the quicksand of negativity. Lies! Why? Because of the lame lie that boys don't cry, adults don't cry, big girls don't cry, strong black women don't cry. We all walk around with pride so high and smile so bright you could almost swear we promised tomorrow, only to soak and bury our sorrows underneath our pillows, but if only pillows had mouths. Why? Why? Because we live in a world where the bitter truth we've hidden in our little boxes of ignorance and pride, and our feelings and emotions we thrust aside. Nobody cares. Nobody runs to nobody to share. Nobody's willing to draw near and give it an ear. Fake smiles we wear, we hold our pride high up in the air, too embarrassed to shed a tear in the presence of someone who cares, too afraid to embrace this ghost and face our fears. The best part is where you've been too drenched in this world of pretense and die in silence, and no one even notices your absence. You're simply gone, and life simply goes on. Can't you see? The world will always move on. In a week's time, the world will be over this drama, and you over this trauma, and I another suicide story that made the news. I made the food book for the guy that carried the news. You'll be fine. Why? Why? Because I grieve brave enough to tell myself the truth and coward enough to exit this truth. Why? Why? Because I'm tired. Tired and losing my fire. Tired of trying to teach my tired soul how to unlearn the status quo. Why? Because I'm selfish. But aren't we all? Woo!
Judges, once everyone's tired, 4, 8, 10, 8, 9.3. Well, I guess your guess is as good as mine. We are going to have some dancing. They'll be coming in a minute. And before they do any of the judges want to say anything now that it's all over and your scores cannot influence anything? Would you like to say anything? Sir, you wanted to speak up right here.
There are some times when I feel like people are doing fantastically well, but they don't keep up the energy. There's people who, in my head, I've given them a 10. They start messing up. Or they start like losing that momentum.
Your momentum.
I find myself saying, down. Yeah.
It's not personal, folks.
It's not personal.
Okay.
Lady in black.
Because either your point just went on for too long. It just started getting too long. And then when you have a very strong punchline, I think that area may be the best place to just
end
quit.
it.
Some poems read like 2 poems, so in my head it already ended, and then you're still going on with another new poem, and then I'm just reducing the scores by from that point on. Sad.
In addition to what the two gentlemen have to say, I want to advise contestants that whenever you're planning to come here in order to contest, you have to bring your best foot forward. Don't think, if you are thinking that I'm going to bring my best poem in the first round and second round, or okay, the lesser, better ones, first round and second round, they will be against you. It can count against you. The best thing, or the best mindset you should have is that the 3 poems are the best for each of the rounds. You understand? That's the idea. If not, then you are not ready. I'm sorry. And then, another thing again that I noticed is that for some, it's quite unfortunate. I was quite sad scoring them low. And that's actually because they did not prepare. Don't think that you will think about coming to contest 2 days before the time and think that somehow by some luck you will win. Most of those that win or get to the first, second, and third have been practicing for months and months and months and months.
Haju has been doing this for more than 10 years. So she knows.
Well, for those who win or get to the first, second, third, or even to the final round in itself, have been practicing for a long time. They have been practicing for months. So I just want to encourage everyone to put in their best in that sense.
Yeah.
And that's just it.
All right, finally, and we'll move on.
Just one more thing to say. I know some of the poets, you have friends here. One of the reasons why I also find myself marking people low is not that the poetry isn't nice, it's that it's stereotypical,
yes.
Right? It's very stereotypical. It's well performed, right? But the content is just,
Empty.
it's not that it's empty, it makes sense, it's just that it's stereotypical. We've heard it 1,000 times before. And every now and then, the poet will come here and say something interesting that would actually make me think and laugh. And some of them didn't make it through. But yeah, so just watch for this stereotypical content that we provide sometimes.
All right.
That's basically at the same.
Thank you. Dance group led by dancer, choreographer, yoga practitioner, Bumkumi. Real weak.
So everything movement. So fight, dance, choreography, even how to walk, and all the things that boys need to do when they're, you know, delivering their lines. Anyways, about the performance, these kids, most of them are from a place called Saburi in Day, and some of them, one of them is from Maraba and from Lube. And so we started working with them. We had an audition January 2nd this year, where we basically went to the community and did like an audition workshop with a group of kids from the community who, you know, would want to dance. And we had turnout of about 130 something, which was like way off everything that we could manage. So we made selections, and we've been working with a large group for months now, up until today. And so we selected these ones. This isn't everyone. We selected these ones for this particular performance. They're receiving trainings in different genres. The goal is to give them an opportunity to train, which on a regular they wouldn't have the opportunity for, but also to bring them to platforms that maybe they want to, you know, but that by themselves they wouldn't be able to. I'm a dancer, I'm a traveling artist, and I so much love to perform and travel, and for me this is a really huge opportunity to be able to do this with the children and give them the opportunity that I didn't have as a child, but to let them also know that anything is possible when you put your mind to it, whether Nigeria is great or not. Thank you.
All right, so now it comes to it. Can we have the roll-up banners and so when you have to take pictures, the place is not so, or rather for the second position, yeah. So, my job as a slam master is to decide who to break the tie and to ensure one person wins. Now to ensure I am not lynched on my way home, I'm going to call the two people who have that tie. I'm going to ask you a question. You were asked to prepare an extra piece just in case. So I would ask, what ABBA and Envoy do you have an extra piece? Word ABBA, Envoy, do you have an extra piece? Short, that you can do, that can help us decide who really takes this home. If not, I would have to rate you based on your 3 performances put together, and I would use that to decide who should. So it's not just random, it's relatively fair to you. So score people, help me do that, help me collate their average. You have extra pieces? All right, so Envoy, you're up. And action.
Beauty starts with a B, yourself. Not Beyonce, not Bieber, not even your bestie. I want you to be yourself. As if a big blue genie holding a billion wishes couldn't make you more perfect than you already are. Like you were convinced that beauty lives in the soul of its owner, and you are not some squatting tenant residing in the eyes of the beholder, keeping a collection of eviction notices, standing in front of a mirror singing, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, I pray that somebody notices this." No, beauty lives inside of you. See, beauty ends with a Y. You.
And action.
So this is for the boy who gets high because no one looks close enough to say hello. Hello. This is for the boy who has learned that sitting at the depth of the ocean is a better way to drown, but still fights drowning. Know this. Drinking from the ocean will still not quench your thirst. This is for the boy who told his dad he wants to visit the psychiatrist. Instead, he was dragged to a carpentry shop, shown a casket. Here, you shrink your problems through prayers or end up in one of these. But that is why we have more coffin makers to shrinks. Boy, you are not the outcome of a volcanic eruption. You are cotton candy. Lightening your load does not make you a bad captain. Be a feather. Ask for help. And if we are ignorant enough to not listen, forgive us. Ask another. Even Atlantis couldn't stay afloat forever. So yes, boy, you might not be a poet to write it out, but talk. Never allow them cage you and be a man. Isolation is the enemy here. But boy, know this. Not all boys get to be fathers.
I'm going to very uncomfortable call. So just to add a little to it, so that you guys can have something to finally tabulate the scores. Okay, so I'm just going to add 1 and 2 points to each person, and that will decide the total. So, word ABBA. Your performance earns you an extra 1 point. Envoy Veites. Your performance earns you all this talk about beauty. See, a beautiful girl broke my heart, so you're not in luck. So, your performance earns you an extra 2 points. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to call out Word ABBA. In third place is Word ABBA. Can you give him a round of applause? This was a very hard call. This was a very hard call. They are both quite diverse, but in the final performance, one person's piece was more poetic in my opinion. Envoy Veites is first runner-up. Please a round of applause. Personally, I think she is a bit of a psycho. I was thinking, okay, maybe I'll get a number before she leaves. Then she did her first piece and like, okay, maybe I'll get a dagger by the time she leaves. But she's good, she's talented, she's diverse, she's unique, she's confident, she's powerful, she took us places, fantastical places, dark places, beautiful places. Ladies and gentlemen, the Grand Slam winner joining a few prestigious people for the evening. Hamu! Didn't I warn you about the pretty boys? All right, so don't be in a hurry now, guys. Slow down. Let it be presented properly, you know, with paparazzi opportunity and all of that. So we have one more, and you get to decide who gets this award. The award is called the Viewer's Choice Award, or I think it should be called the Listener's Choice Award. Somebody who we liked, we thought was cool, we thought was good, but didn't make it to the top 3. So we had, who are the other 2 people on my list? We had Love and Liberty, right? And up the top 5, and who else? Luke Laham. So, can you guys, both of you stand up, please? So, audience, do we give the Audience Choice Awards to the lovely Love and Liberty? Do we give it to the guy from the University of Moshi, Udasa? It goes to, from the sound of the voices we had, the Audience Choice Award goes to Love It. So it's time to present the awards. So, the checks, who's presenting? Alright, so we'll start from the top. So the first runner-up, will you guys come this way so that they can present that properly and do all the photos.
And I'd like to say that the prize was sponsored by Hamu Legal, so that's why we have them here.
Seriously, why did you give this person?
What? Oh, I'm supposed to be here. First runner-up. And just to say, we have a surprise announce award.
Reward, you don't take for the size.
Oh, sorry.
It's slanted. Turn this way. Excellent.
Oludasa, don't go. I'm happy to announce that an anonymous person has decided to give the same amount we give to the Viewer's Choice Award to Oludasa because he anything else? Let me just get some information. I'm going to call one of our judges. Can you please put your hands together for the beautiful pageant?
Sorry.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. It's been absolutely okay.
Thank you. I mean, that is all for today. Thank you for joining us. It's the Abuja Literature and Arts Festival. So tomorrow is the final day, the last opportunity to join us. We have a book fair at the Cube Cafe in Maitama Amusement Park. It's free entry, so come and stock up your bookshelves with those books that you won't read, but then still buy them. It's very important. And then after that, we have a panel in the evening, a keynote panel, and then we have the closing. We have a book swap as well, so if you don't want to buy books, you can bring all books and exchange them at Cube Cafe. So we have the closing session, we have another dance concert and a music concert. So guys, it's the Abuja Literature and Arts Festival by the Abuja Literary Society, so by us and for us. So join us tomorrow as well. Thank you for coming.